Hi everyone, it's Stephanie here, and today I'm sharing a watercolor card that I created using the Perfect Blend stamp set from Neat and Tangled. This is an awesome stamp set for anyone who loves coffee or tea or any type of drink really. It's just got a lot of great different stamps and sentiments included in the set. And anyone who knows me knows I love coffee, so I could not wait to create with this set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some watercoloring on this coffee cup here, and I want to use the same cup for the card, so I'm stamping this 6 times onto a piece of watercolor cardstock. And at first I was stamping it so many times just because I wanted to have options in case I messed up the watercoloring, and I ended up using 5 of the cups on the card, so I guess it was a good thing I did so many. So I have them all stamped, and I'm just going to go ahead and do some kind of messy watercoloring. I didn't intend for it to be messy. I was kind of, trying to stay in the lines and keep it, contained within the areas of the cups, but it ended up bleeding and kind of bleeding into one another. And at the very end, I was a little bit concerned and thought, I didn't really like it because I kind of messed the watercolor up and it was going out of the lines. But when it was finished, I absolutely loved the outcome of the cups. I think they look artsy and watercolory and fun. And I think I really like the look of messy watercolor versus the look of neat watercolor, if that makes sense. So I'm just using some grays here to kind of make it look white. I want the lid of the cup and the little cozy in the middle to kind of look like they're white, so I'm using some gray to add shadows to those. And I'm just kind of starting relatively light with the gray color and a bit of water, and just kind of starting on the left hand side with the heavier color and then kind of pulling it over to the right with the water. And then sometimes I got a little bit too much and then I would just use my paper towel and dab it off. So I definitely recommend when you're doing any type of watercoloring to have a paper towel nearby, because you can easily just kind of dab it right on top of the wet area and it will pretty much soak up all of the color if you have it still really wet and saturated. So I just decided to do all of the cups at once and do all of the gray at once. And you can see there as I'm going, it's starting to wick and bleed out of the areas, especially in the 2 middle cups there. It's just because I was doing too much water and not letting anything dry, so it just eventually had to kind of move right out of the area I was working in. So I just kept going though. At this point, this is when I was kind of like, this is not really what I wanted, but I'm just going to keep going. So I let them dry for a little bit and I shut my camera off, and now I'm back with some color to add to the cups. So I want to create some aqua cups and some green cups. So I'm just using 2 of the colors here. And the watercolors that I'm using to color these are the Prima Confections. They're really great watercolors. I love these little pans. I use them a lot in my videos and in my cards. I just really love the pigmentation of them, and I love the packaging that they come in. I just love pretty much everything about them. So I use them quite often. So I'm adding the blue and the aqua color to the cups, and then I'm kind of laying down a base color and then going back with a little bit more color on the left hand side of that cup once again, just to add a little bit of shadow and some shading detail. And then once I have that done, you can kind of see now where I have some of the green has bled into the middle area on some of the cups. I have the gray that's bled into the blue and green area. But I ended up really liking it. I love how these cups look. I was super happy with them, so I decided to let them fully dry and continue on with the card. So I switched over to a larger paintbrush, and I have another panel of white cardstock. This is watercolor cardstock as well. And I'm just taking the large brush and I added kind of a wash of water all over the back. And then I took a really like beigey light color there and kind of added that wash to the background, just because I didn't want the cup to be, or the card to be white. And I really like the beige color with the coffee theme. I just think it goes well. So I did that, and then I set that aside to dry, and I cut out all of the coffee cups with my scissors. I wanted to cut them out right on the ink line, so I cut them all out. And now I am creating my sentiment. So I use the I love you more than coffee, but don't make me prove it sentiment. I thought that was kind of fun, and I thought it went well with the multiple coffee cups that we're going to use on the card. So I decided to kind of stack them all into like a pile here on the left side of the card. So I'm just starting off with the green color there, and I'm just going to kind of go along until I have 5 of the cups adhered. So I used 2 of the green ones on the bottom area and kind of sandwiched one of the blue ones in between, and then I added a blue and a green one to the top area as well. I just thought it was a fun design to have them kind of all stacked together, and I really like how it turned out. So now to add the sentiment strip on, I'm just going to use some foam tape, and I'm adding that to the back of this strip here, and I'm going to adhere this to the bottom area of the cups. Now I was kind of eyeballing it and looking here, and something didn't look right to me, so I ended up moving the middle blue cup down a bit I thought it was too straight and linear with the 3 cups at the bottom, so I did shift that one down a tiny bit, and then I added the sentiment strip to the bottom. And then that is going to complete the entire watercolor panel, so we can go ahead and adhere this to the card base. So I used a light gray card base, and then I adhered the panel directly on top of that. And I made sure to put a lot of adhesive onto this panel just because it is watercolor, so it does have some warping. And then once I had that done, I finished the card off by adding some clear sequins scattered around and then some silver stickles in the center of the sequins. And that is going to complete today's card. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I appreciate you stopping by my YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video.